So welcome back, everyone. Lovely to see you all as always. And let's start by going straight into the superpower state. So take a deep breath and either close your eyes or leave them open, whichever you prefer. And go into your superpower state however you normally do that. So by using your word or phrase, or your anchor, or by focusing in on everything you love about your subject. Start to feel your heart opening, your chest expanding, and allow that light or energy to shine, excuse me, to shine out from your heart. Now allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. Very good. Now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Very, very good. And allow each cell to produce its own light or energy. That unconditional love emanating out from each cell to all the cells around it. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to fill the little you, yourself as a child, any age. Loving that child just for existing, no judgments, no expectations. Good job. Now allow that light or energy to overflow from that little you and fill your whole childhood, shining that light into any darkness, filling everything, everyone, every experience, every circumstance, every event, shining that light. Very, very good. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to overflow from you and fill everyone who's on the call today. All those who are on camera, all those who are off camera today. Loving each one just for existing, no judgments, no expectations. Very, very good. All right, you can open your eyes if you have them closed. And let's check in with each person to find out how you're doing. So starting with Lisa. Hi,
Yay.
Lisa. How are you today?
Chart today. Yay. So I have page number 48 from your book.
Fantastic.
Your books are golden to me. So the great news is your subconscious will believe whatever you give it. All you need to do is whatever it takes to change those memories, the references, to support what you want rather than what you've had up until now. So then you can be raised with love, affection, kindness, compassion, support, enthusiasm, encouragement, gentle guidance, respect, value, attention, security, financial freedom, and the opportunities you deserve. Yay.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is such a great reminder because, we know this, but Steve and I, this is what we do for a living. So, this is all day, every day. We know it, we're working with it. But for most people, because it's not something that they're living that's part of their life all the time, every day, it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to get drawn into things that are happening now, the challenges now, and forget that it's the childhood stuff that's creating it, and to go back there and change it. So thank you very much, Lisa, for sharing that. You really are such a treasure, and we really appreciate you.
Oh, I love you too.
All right. And then Sadia. Hi, Sadia. Lovely to see you.
Hi, Odile. Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you too. I
Good.
missed ESG and consequences.
Oh,
Less feeling good chemicals. No.
yes.
Yeah, so I just have a question. Um, sorry. How do I formulate that? Um, it's like I'm dealing with a constant feeling of undeserving this time
Yes.
and kind of worried, and I try to address that, but it's kind of tricky these days. So I was wondering what would be your advice to deal with feeling of undeserving?
Feeling of undeserving. Okay. You're breaking up a little bit, so I just want to check I've got that. So it's feelings of undeserving.
And constant worry. Like I know where I put my focus is where my energy flows, but it's kind of like energy draining all the time too. Because I feel like each time I'm kind of okay, I'm just going to refocus, but the feeling keeps coming back and coming back.
Oh,
And yeah.
all right. Very good, Sadia. Thank you for sharing that. So let's start with the allowing exercise. So knowing that feeling, so you've got that feeling of undeserving and worry. So I want you to just notice now the sensation of it in your body. Where do you feel it? And what does it feel like? So like when you put your hand on your leg, your sensation on your hand, the sensation on your leg, focus in on the sensation of that feeling, those feelings of undeserving and worry. Can you do that?
Yes.
Good job, sweetheart. Very, very good. And so now, as you focus on that feeling, that physical feeling, without giving it any meaning, doesn't mean anything, it's just a sensation. Can you just allow that feeling to be there with no judgment? We don't need to stop it. We don't need to change it. Just allow it. Can you do that?
Yes.
Good, very, very good. And as you just allow that feeling to be there, it's okay. We don't need to stop it. Doesn't mean anything. What happens? Does it stay the same or does it change in some way?
Mm. I do not really feel any
Pardon?
difference.
You don't feel different.
I
So,
do, yeah.
so it stays the same. That's fine. Absolutely okay. So as you allow that physical sensation to be there now, I want you to see if you're able to step back from it and have it in front of you. Imagine it being in front of you. Can you do that?
Yes.
Very good. And now, if you were to ask that feeling what it needs, what would it say? And if you don't get anything, that's also okay.
I don't I don't know.
You know, that's okay. That's all right. Good job. And so, okay, so let's look at this constant worry and the feelings of unworthiness. And where in your childhood did you have that same feeling, that same constant worry?
Well, I did, and I can't find a reference.
Okay, that's okay. And so, have you got the first bad memory from your childhood that comes to mind? You don't need to say what it is, but let me know if you've got something. But just the first one that comes to mind, a bad experience from your childhood. You got something?
Yes.
Good job, sweetheart. Very, very good. And as you think of that, approximately how old were you? It doesn't really matter exact age, just approximately.
5.
5. Good. So about 5 years old. And when you think of that memory now, how strong are the emotions? 0 to 10. 0, I don't feel anything. 10, it's very strong.
8.
8. Good. Very good, Sadia. Good job, sweetheart. You're doing really well. All right. So now I want you to press pause on that for a moment and take a deep breath. close your eyes and I want you to think of your favorite color. What's your favorite color?
Sorry?
What's your favorite color?
Oh, yellow.
Yellow, very good. That's a good choice. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine the most beautiful shade of yellow, your favorite yellow. Can you imagine that? Good. And you're surrounded by that beautiful color of yellow. And feel the feeling of the yellow and how beautiful it is, how lovely it feels. Can you do that? Very good. Good job. And now I want you to think of what's your favorite animal? Like if you were to think of an animal that you like, what kind of animals do you like? If you like. If you don't, that's also okay.
Cheetah.
Sorry?
A cheetah. Cheetah.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So now I want you to imagine that you have your own pet cheetah. How does that feel?
Yeah, good.
Good, very good. And I want you to imagine hugging that cheetah. Cheetahs actually are lovely animals.
Mm.
Yeah, very good. Good job. How does that feel as you hug your cheetah?
I can start to feel my superpower.
Good. There you go. There you go. Very good. Good job. All right. Now press pause on that for a moment and let's go back to that 5-year-old memory. So that memory you were in a moment ago, you were 5 years old and the emotions, the negative emotions there were at 8. Where is it now? Just very briefly. You don't need
7.
to.
Yes, 7.
7. Good job. Very good. Let's pause on that. Let's go back to the cheetah. So you and your cheetah, and you're hugging your cheetah. And how beautiful is that? Is it a full-grown cheetah or is it a baby? What sort of cheetah is it? What age? How big is it?
Well, little.
Little. Very good.
Yeah.
Good job. And does it have a lovely face?
Yeah.
Mm. And what does its fur feel like? Is it soft or is it coarse?
Yes,
Good job, Sadia. Very, very good. And now press pause on that and let's go back to that memory, 5 years old. And the negative emotions, negative feelings there was a 7. Where is it now?
4.
4. Good job. Press pause on that. Let's go back to the cheetah. And let's give this cheetah a name. What would you name your cheetah?
Oh.
Can be anything.
Amazon.
If it doesn't have a name, that's also okay.
Okay. Well, I prefer not giving it a name. Yeah.
All right. Just the cheetah then. And is it a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Girl, very good, very good. And I want you to imagine cuddling that little girl cheetah. And how lovely that feels, how much you love the cheetah and the cheetah loves you. That connection between you, you got that? Fantastic. And the wonderful thing about this is that your subconscious doesn't know there's not really a cheetah.
Definitely.
It believes it, right? So now press pause on that. Let's go back to that memory, 5 years old. And the negative emotions was a 4. Where are they now?
I think it's about a 2 or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So press pause on that. Let's go back to the cheetah, that cute little girl cheetah, and how much you love her and she loves you, that wonderful connection between you. You got that? How soft her fur is. And cheetahs actually purr, I think, as far as I know. So imagine her purring, how lovely she is. Good job. Press pause on that. Let's go back to that 5-year-old memory and any negative emotions left now. Good. Very good. Good job, Sadia. And so now, whatever was happening in that memory before, I want you to change it now. So change it to the opposite, positive, empowering. Something exciting and fun is happening, but I want you to add the cheetah in. So you are given this cheetah cub as a gift. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So that little 5-year-old you has a cheetah as a pet. And that cheetah goes everywhere with her. Everywhere with little Sadia. Her cheetah goes with her. Can you imagine that? Good. And so the cheetah is her companion and also her protector. She protects her. And everyone else is jealous. Everyone is so, oh, you're so lucky. How come you get a cheetah and we don't? I also want a cheetah. And all the other kids are always around going, oh, can I pet your cheetah? Can I play with the cheetah? Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Good. Very, very good. And so now I want you to, whenever you start to feel the worry or the unworthiness, I want you to go back to that cheetah, those memories of the little 5-year-old you with her cheetah, and reassure that part of you that you are safe. You've always got that cheetah with you. And play those memories of everyone else is so envious of you with your cheetah. How does that feel?
Amazing.
Very, very good, Sadia. So very good job, sweetheart. And so now, of course, it's important to keep practicing it and keep redirecting your mind to that until it's established and it's strong, and you keep bringing up those feelings. So whenever you think, oh, I feel bad, or I can't pull up my superpower, or anything like that, cheetah. Always back to the cheetah. All right?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. And thank you for sharing, because I know that's going to help others as well. Good job, you. I am so proud of you. Very good. All right. And Janine. Hey, how lovely to see you. How are you doing?
Good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for holding these.
Of course. It's lovely to have you with us.
I've had you on my list for quite a number of weeks now.
Hey, hi, how you doing? Lovely to see you both. And so, Janine, do you have any questions today, or are you just here to listen, or?
I would actually really just enjoy lurking today.
Okay.
I love participating. I love putting myself in the middle. Yeah. And for today, I would be very happy to just be here, if I may.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And it's just lovely to see your face and have you with us.
Thank you.
Very good job. And Swasti. Hi, Swasti.
Hi.
Hey, sweetie. How are you today?
I'm quite good. Thank you. So today I had an interview for a befriending role. So just like people in this like coronavirus situation who are taking care of like vulnerable people, like they don't often get the time to kind of just talk to anybody. So I'll be doing that role. So I had an interview. So they would like tell me the decision after the interview. But she said like just in the session, she said, yeah, we really want you in our team. Yeah, it's really exciting. So I got the role.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good job. I am so proud of you. Well done, sweetheart. And is this the one that you were talking about that you used to walk past and that? And...
No, this is, yeah, I'm just applying to a lot of different things because I really don't have much to do now.
Right.
So, no, that one's on Friday. That one's different. But yeah, this one was also quite nice.
And so you feel good about it?
Yeah, I feel, yeah, I didn't feel any, it came very naturally, like the confidence and just really wanting to do it.
Yeah. Look at you, look at how much progress you've made.
Yeah, I just have to take a step back and really appreciate Thank you so much to this group and to your method and to your help every day.
You're very, very welcome. I'm so excited for you. And I do want to say here, because just what you just said actually is important for everybody as well. And I know for me, as if you know, I've had to do this consciously as well, where to look back to where you've come from. Because as we go along, like I think of it like you're climbing a mountain, and you're not at the top yet. And the top, of course, keeps moving, you know, anyway. And so you seem to be not near the top yet. But, and it feels, sometimes it can feel like I've made no progress. But if you look down, you can see how far you've come. And I make a habit of, you know, every now and then consciously making that intention to look back to where I was. And that is really, it's encouraging, it's empowering, and it keeps you moving forward. And just on a neuroscience point of view, our brains are designed to not notice things that have been there all along or for a while. That's why we get used to things.
Yeah.
And that's for survival. It's more important for survival to notice the new stuff or what's not there yet, because that's what keeps us moving forward and escaping from danger. So the brain is literally wired to or designed to notice. So when something good happens, we get a shot of dopamine, and that's great, and that happens for a little while, but it reduces over time because it's no longer important. So dopamine happens, happens at different times, but one of the things is novelty. And so when something new happens and it's good, then we go, oh, this is wonderful, but then we get used to it. And then we no longer feel that excitement or that lift anymore. And so we start looking for the next thing. And that's really helpful to remember. And so then we have to make the conscious effort to appreciate and to notice. And like in relationships as well, I've made a very conscious effort to never take Steve for granted and to never forget. So I make that effort to remember and to notice, and you know, being present helps, being in the moment and noticing and appreciating as we go. So thank you for that opportunity to explain that, because with you mentioning about noticing where you've come from, or reminding yourself of where you've come from. How fun.
Yeah, so this was in one of your Instagram posts, and that kind of brings me to the question I had. Well, kind of the thing. So when you posted a picture of you like on the boat or something, you were singing, and I just thought, like, oh my God, you're so skinny. And then I thought, I'm not that skinny. And I was like, I've never been the size of, well, I've never considered myself to be the size of my age group ever. But like now I am, but I still don't see it. And I just feel very like, why?
Yes. Oh, this is a really good point as well. So the interesting thing is that when that photograph was taken at that time of my life, I didn't see myself as skinny. I thought my stomach was huge. Isn't that amazing? Because now, of course, I look at it, I think, my goodness, I can't even believe that's me. And how thin I was, but I did not see myself as thin. And I was not happy. I did not have, so I am so much happier now than I was then. And I'm, of course, not skinny like I was then. I'm working on getting fitter, but it's not something that bothers me now. It's just something that's, it'd be nice to do that, be nice to have that. And it's because the way we look, our bodies, our hair, our faces, whatever, the way we look has nothing to do with how we feel. It really has nothing to do with how we feel. And because if someone is, if we have the programming for feeling lack of confidence, feeling unsatisfied, or feeling unworthy, any of those kind of things, no matter how beautiful we may be, we'll still feel those things because The feelings are chemicals. And if it's not that, if we aren't feeling like, oh, I don't look the way I want to look, then we'll be thinking, I don't earn the money I want to earn, or I'm not, I'm sick, or I will always find something.
Yeah.
So even if, let's say, you magically look suddenly the way you want to look, you would find something else, some other reason to feel that way.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so how do I fix this?
So how to fix it? Good job. Good question. All right. So the first part is recognizing it. So that's done. Now, what is it about not looking the way you think you want to look or you should look? How do you know you don't look perfect the way you are?
Yeah, I think it's been influenced by lots of Instagram scrolling lately. So I actually delete Instagram like in between weeks, it seems like, and then it's just a dopamine hit. Like I just take it back and keep scrolling. Not for hours though, not for unhealthy amount of time, like 10 minutes a day. Like just seeing people of my age.
Yes.
And like seeing, oh my god, I mean that I know their photos could be like photoshopped, and they probably are because they want the likes and the comments. But yeah.
So maybe the first part, we'll get to the changing of the references and that, but just on a practical level, one of the things you can do is be very selective about who you follow. So follow people of your age who are inspiring and achieving things and are funny and, in other words, that make you feel good, so that when you see it, you feel, oh yeah, that's fun, or oh, they're amazing, and you feel inspired. And if they can do that, then I can do it, that kind of thing. So I would change who you're following. So unfollow those as you scroll. That one doesn't feel good, I'll unfollow. That one doesn't feel good, I'll unfollow, and follow more inspiring, more exciting, more fun people. So that's number one. But that's not the solution, because of course you don't want to be controlled by, oh, I can't watch that or can't see that or that. So that's just a practical thing in the meantime. But now the second part. So because there are lots and lots of people who don't look like those people, but who are successful, who have wonderful relationships, who are happy and healthy and having fun. So what is it about the looks that is important, do you think?
So looks in general, what is it?
Yeah.
Just like appealing to, well, the opposite gender. But I mean, I've never been involved in any sort of relationships, but still want to seem appealing.
Okay, good. And so here's the thing, here's something important as well, is how do you know that the way those people look is appealing to the opposite gender? How do you know that? Because maybe it's not. Maybe most people are attracted to a completely different type of person.
Well, I have this one particular person in mind from Instagram. Like, the thing is, she is very successful, but I think she just had very good references. Like, she's at the university she wants to be. She has an amazing relationship. She has this car. She's living in Los Angeles, New York, I don't know where, but it looks beautiful from the outside. And she had an eating disorder, but she is pretty skinny now, kind of healthily, not unhealthy. But then seeing some of her vlogs, she doesn't really eat. So it's it seems like you still have that eating disorder, but you don't realize that.
Yes. So all that's on the surface may not be all there is. We don't know, of course, how she feels, because people generally will put across, especially on things like Instagram. Of course, they will put across the good stuff and not so much of the suffering and that kind of thing. So that isn't really necessarily anything to go by. So now I want to ask you, let's say it got worse. Let's say you got fatter and you looked less and less like you want to look. What's wrong with that?
I have to buy new clothes.
Okay.
I don't know, my mum, like whenever I gain weight, it's not always me who realizes that. It's always my mum first.
There it is.
I never see it. And then, like, I'll take a photo. Like, I took a photo at the beginning of lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was ridiculous. I was pretty overweight. But my mum pointed that out. Like,
there it is.
Time I didn't see it. Now I do. But...
So that's where it's coming from.
Mm.
It's not actually Instagram. It's originally coming from your mum. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what all of your mum's perception is what's affecting you, is what's informing your perception. So, so what sort of thing does your mum say? How does she point it out?
Well, she always says, your hands are so, if I literally translate it from Hindi to English, it's like bouncy. It's like she's just saying your hands are fat. And
wow.
And she says like your cheeks look like they have like an Indian sweet in them. So they're like really chubby.
Wow.
So,
okay, so now we haven't met in person, but I can tell you from certainly what I've seen on Zoom, you look tiny. You look smaller than most people. So I mean slim, and your hands don't look big to me from here. So here's the first thing to realize is that whatever your mum is saying and seeing is filtered through her things, her programs, her fears, whatever's going on there, right? It actually has nothing to do with reality.
Oh, I think specific memory of, well, it's just my mom saying like, well, no, her mom, well, the whole generation of India, to be honest, just to get married, you have to be skinny.
Yeah.
Like they always said my mom was never like very fair, because they always wanted fairness. Like they always wanted to be lighter than they actually were. So they said if you can't control that, something you can control is your weight.
Wow.
And to look attractive, you have to have a certain weight.
There it is. And so do you see how it is, it's not even about being pleasing to the eye, it's about fear. So the driver there is if you're not thin enough, you won't get married. And in that culture, that's disastrous, right?
Yeah.
That's really scary, isn't it? Right. So it's been driven by fear. And so what will happen is they will see overweight when it's not there because they're seeing through the fear.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, the lenses.
Yeah. So the great news is it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about, oh, how am I going to lose weight? How am I going to look like that? Because that's not a real thing. What you do now is change the references and you have power over that.
Yeah.
Good job, sweetheart. So now you want to go where you want to change those memories, and you will probably need to change their childhoods, of course, where they're all different sizes and everyone is happy and everyone's loved and everyone's getting married if they want to get married, and they don't get married if they don't want to get married. So there are plenty of people who are not married and just enjoying their lives and their careers and what have you. And so life is fun and life is magical. Regard has nothing to do with looks, which is the truth, really. So you can also, and I know Steve has mentioned this before because we've done it with clients who live in countries where there's been histories of various things. You can change the whole of India to this big party place where everyone's always happy and enjoying themselves, and there's parties and everything's relaxed and everyone is safe, abundance and fun.
Yeah.
And that is the Indian culture.
Okay.
And so you come from a long line of relaxed, easygoing, laid back, fun, happy, healthy people.
I can always see that now, actually. It's really good. So whenever I try and change, like, because you mentioned that so many times about changing the culture, So the place I was used to live in is so everybody considers themselves Hindu, so we all have a religion. But then there were also like Muslims, at kind of like, I would say, at the back of the village. And that's also a representation of, you know, like they didn't want them there. But they'd always go across the village, like we would see them, and everybody looked down on them. And when I tried changing that, I just feel sadness and like regret that I couldn't do anything about that. But I was very young, so couldn't really do anything.
Exactly. Okay. And so let's look at that that situation. Or how did you, when you said you tried to change it, how did you try to change it? What did you try to change it to?
So I tried changing, like I always wanted to play with the children that they had. So like taking them by the arm and actually playing with them, but they didn't want to come. Oh,
all right. So so let's look at that. So how did you know they were Muslim? Did they dress differently?
Yeah,
or they dressed
the hijab and the black clothes.
All right. And how do you know that they were looked down on or they weren't welcome? What sort of experiences are there that represent that?
Well, I can just see like men, like Indian men. And then the ladies always had to rush across. But if you literally imagine two men here and then the ladies walking down the path.
Right.
So they always had to, hurry up.
Okay.
Because? Well, I think it was just, well, they didn't want to talk to them. Neither of the cultures wanted to interact in any way. And like, they were always treated as, you shouldn't be living here, like in this village.
Okay, so presumably you overheard people saying that kind of thing as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there were lots of arguments and things.
There you go. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to do a stepping stone. As a stepping stone, now about how old were you then?
So it was before I came here, less than 7.
Okay, so I want you to imagine that 7-year-old or 6-year-old Swasti, and she's looking at this, she's witnessing this situation where the people are saying, and they're talking about it, they don't want them there, the people are hurrying, they look different, whatever's going on. And I want you to give little Swasti a wand, a magic wand, and she is going to wave that magic wand, and the people stop and listen. And that little Swasti tells them what we know now. We know here. But there is no, everybody's the same. Everybody is valuable and kind and compassionate. And so that little you has the power to change. Do you see the value in that?
Yeah.
Good. So that's the stepping stone.
Okay.
That may be why you couldn't change it before, because you needed that stepping stone, that you have the power, because that's a separate. So there's the data about, of course, the culture and the sadness of wanting to play with the kids and can't and that. So there's all of those are pieces of data, but there's also the piece of data of not having the power.
Yeah.
To change it. So that's wonderful. So practice that as a stepping stone. Once it feels strong and it feels good and it feels established, then try changing that again. And again, make it a party. Make it the people, the Muslims are coming over for a party. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's having fun. And then they invite the other people over to their side, and everybody's enjoying, experiencing each other's differences, each other's cultures, the food, the music, you can add, and it doesn't have to be the real food and music. You can make up whatever you want. Your subconscious won't question it. So perhaps they do the twist or Charleston. It doesn't really matter. Something fun. How does that sound? And then the kids are all playing together as well, and the parents are chatting and catching up, and all the kids are playing on a bouncy castle or in a swimming pool or riding horses, or it can be anything, because your subconscious won't question it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm only now understanding the different pieces of data and how they from yesterday's session. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Does that feel good?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah.
Good job, Swasti, and thank you so much for sharing that, because again, it will help others as well. And congratulations again on your job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Steve, any questions from the chat?
Well, I believe that I got a note from Chris that said that she was going to try to unmute.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if she is available to
Hi,
do that.
Chris.
I'm in the middle of, no, I'm on the bridge, but I'm just coming out of the traffic. It's quite noisy. So hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here, and I always like to be here, although there are many days that it's not possible, but I think it's really important. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. But so many good things. Difficult good. So I would like to say today, I love my life. I love my programs and my patterns and references, and I accept myself exactly the way I am.
Good.
That's one of the things I'd like to say.
Good job. Well done, you.
Right. Just think that's an important thing. Well, clearly my life is important. And if Steve has time, we were having a chat yesterday, and he spoke about the will and how the will has been. So I was having a good chat with Steve yesterday evening, and he spoke, and it came up. I was describing how I felt when I was again offering my time to my children, whom I love very much, and there's a part of me which is very generous, and I give them myself, but of course there's a little voice which is saying, well, but just a minute, what about you? Are you giving to yourself? And we looked and we allowed that, and I just felt it was quite a useful discussion we had about the will, because as a child, it felt I didn't understand who I was, because it wasn't, the culture wasn't there to encourage a child to be nurtured. We were just part of the next generation.
That's right.
Fed and watered. The will. I think it was a good conversation. Yes, of course I know it, but just when you hear it said outside of your own mind, and of course I read. I have training and learning in these areas. Nevertheless, hearing somebody else say it to you as your own testimony is so powerful. So I wondered if Steve, if he remembers what he said, he'd like to share any of that.
Steve, can you enlighten us?
I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up a little bit on the threads of that conversation as well, but just talking about how we end up suppressing will. So the allowing technique is, as we're allowing those feelings to be there, it is also allowing us to get in touch with our own will, and that is below the cognitive, oftentimes the cognitive, and what's going on in our culture, what we're being told. Oftentimes we're living other people's wills, so as little people, we're born into our family systems, we're born into our cultures, and oftentimes we're not being enculturated. Yeah, okay. We're not being enculturated to give expression to our will. We're living somebody else's will for us. So this, stepping into allowing feelings is also beginning to move us in the direction of, can I really be in touch with that will for us? And I think that most of us, or a lot of us, have not ever really experienced that. So taking steps to start to understand or give expression to or be with the feeling of will is something that may be foreign to a lot of people. So I don't know, Chris, help me if that was kind of where we were at, or if that's what you wanted to address.
Yeah, that was the essence, and it felt so helpful for me. I thought I'd ask you to say it again, the general on this forum. There we are.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much for that. Fantastic. And I'm so excited for you and so proud of you. Really, you are amazing. Good job. All right. And then Steve, I wanted to read this out just because it's lovely. So from Sadia says, and I want to read it out to help encourage others as well who may be feeling like it's, like they're struggling. She says, it always amazes me how quickly the superpower technique works. While I was speaking to Odile, I was feeling overwhelmed and just a desire to cry. And now I have a cheetah to practice with and feel much better. I can't tell you how grateful I am for the opportunity to practice this awesome technique. So thank you, Sadia, for sharing that, because there will be others who feel like, that feeling of perhaps hopelessness or I can't do it. So it's wonderful to hear how quickly it can work, and it's just a case of doing it. So thank you. All right. And I also wanted to read this out. I saw this while Steve was talking. And a suggestion from Ilya to Swasti, and I love this. It's a great idea. So regarding the religion, Ilya says a suggestion, Swasti, what if in the new memory, everyone has the same religion, which she puts in inverted commas, which is the superpower stroke unconditional love. But some of them call it Hinduism, some call it Muslim, etc. But in the end, you believe in the same thing and you enjoy each other's different takes on how to practice unconditional love or the superpower. And I love that. I think that's very, very powerful, very empowering. And I see Swasti has got that. So that's great. Fantastic. All right. And so let's go into the targeting. So Steve, if you could send me the targets, please. And take a deep breath and go into your superpower state, however you normally do that. You can do it with your eyes open or closed. So using your word or phrase or your anchor, or by focusing in on everything you love about your subject. Start to feel your heart opening, that expansion feeling in your chest as that light shines out from you. And then allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. Very, very good. And now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. And notice how each cell has the ability to produce that light, that energy, that love itself. And it spreads to all the cells around it. That pure, unconditional love. Very good. Now allow that light or energy to fill your subject. And then imagine your subject doesn't want to be with you or doesn't have the qualities that you love and admire, and keep them filled with that light, that energy anyway. Very good. And now let's go to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. Good job. And now to Sadia. Fill Sadia with this same light, this energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Sadia just for existing. Very good. And now to Janine. Fill Janine with the same light, this energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Janine just for existing. Good job. And now to Chris. Fill Chris with this same light, this energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Chris just for existing. Very, very good. And now to Swasti. Fill Swasti with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Swasti just for existing. Good job. And now to everyone who's off camera today and all those watching the recording. Fill them with the same light, this energy, this love. Loving each one just for existing. Very good. And now think of yourself later today. Whatever you'll be doing, whatever you'll be feeling or experiencing, and fill that version of you with this light, this energy from the tips of your toes to the top of your head and out to your fingertips. Love that version of you, no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter what you do, love that version of you exactly as you are. No judgments, no expectations. And surge. Very good. And surge again. Good job. Very good. You can open your eyes if you have them closed. And well done, everybody. Thank you all for being here. It's lovely to see you all as always. And you're very, very welcome. Keep practicing and keep watching these recordings. You can watch them again to get the information on different levels. And we will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.